speak of good consulting companies originating from India, not many names come up who are directly impacting the top-line business results for their customers. Saviant Consulting was started in 2014 with a vision to build a highly respected business consulting company from India that actually helps produce revenue acceleration and business model transformation for its customers. Saviant has been recognized as one among the Economic Times Future Ready Organizations 2022-23. Let's find out more about what makes Saviant a future ready organization and what makes them different from the rest.
9 years back when we started, the idea was to create a good consulting company from India. You don't see many startups in consulting field from India. We've built a good IT services base in last 20 years, but consulting has not been the focus. It has been primarily services, IT services, staffing, staff augmentation. So we wanted to make sure that when we work with customers, we solve their core business problems, their top line problems. We make an impact to how they work business. And we also wanted to help them create a blueprint for the unknown, which is the future. And that's how Saviant got started.
What got highlighted in my eyes when I got this opportunity to join Saviant was a consulting mindset. So when I did some research about the company, I really got to know that the main core area or the main focus of the organization is consulting, becoming a partner to the client instead of just taking orders and providing delivery.
The core purpose that we started with is to build the most respected consulting companies in our field. It's not very simple to do it. It's probably simpler to say that we wanted to build a very respectable consulting company from India. But when you look at it, it starts from the basic fundamental human need of listening. And if I have a problem and if you can't listen to my problem, you won't be able to understand what I'm trying to do, right?
While all companies have a strategy for how they create value, few can show precise results for it. Saviant, being just 8 years young, having a team of 150 members, has been successful in creating a map that translates their ambitions and goals into tangible organizational elements, such as business units, service lines, and key capabilities, thereby building strong bonds with their customers. In a short span of time since their inception, Saviant has received several accolades and have been recognized across the industry for being unique in their approach and achievements.
I think when we started looking for customers, the driving factor was the problems that they're trying to solve. They're trying to build new products for the business they are in. They're trying to solve problems through technology, through intelligence. And I think that's what we picked up, and that's where we put all our focus and made sure we understand some problems better than anybody else. And the core of our initial days of work was platform consulting. Nobody was doing platform in those days, 2013, 14. And that was a good way for us to build good products, for building good business solutions for our customers that help them run their business better. And I think that's how we got differentiated. We got a lot of recognition in the early days. Today, when we look back, it looks like our mission statement today of simplifying the industrial world has actually originated from our initial days of focusing on core business problems and helping our customers solve them.
I joined the Saviant Advisory Board primarily because I really liked the people and the mission that they were on. I found the company to be very forward-thinking, very humble and a learning organization, and certainly open to exploring more in terms of who they're for, the problem that they solve, and really sort of focused on building a culture to support that.
Working with multiple customers, so some of them are related to IoT-based smart devices, and some of them are power plants using renewable energy sources. So we work with them closely to provide solutions which will increase their productivity, reduce losses in the plant, and overall make them a better output-based industry.
Several professional services companies across India, across the consulting industry, have either not survived or have become more of a staff augmentation model eventually. However, Saviant has remained a greenfield solutions consulting company focusing on customers' 3-year transformation agenda. Their value roadmap helping implement well-architected business solutions that impact top line, bringing latest digital technologies to work. What has helped Saviant and their workforce retain their original vision and mission?
Today we work with a lot of industrial engineering companies in the US, in Europe. These guys manufacture a lot of machines, a lot of equipment, devices. They're out in the field, oil and gas, transportation, construction. And what we are doing for them is to be able to put all these things together. There's a lot of complexity. You have technology available, whether it is data, cloud, IoT, AI, ML. So our job is to understand what they're trying to do and then use technology that is available, which is easy for us in India to probably interpret better because we have done a lot of technology work. So put that all together and help them figure out how does it solve the problem for next 5 years for them. What kind of product should they build which allow them to be future ready? And the fact that we can talk about Saviant being future ready, it probably is an outcome of how we want our customers to be future ready. And therefore, a lot of the focus is on the next 5 years.
We really assess or we work with our customers to establish the value they are getting out of this project. I can cite a recent example. When we agreed on the problem statement, I had another discussion with the customer to understand what is the value they're getting out of it. Is that the top line impact? Is that the enhanced customer experience? Or is it around productivity increase? There can be additional values like emissions tracking, which is a regulatory compliance value, and that cannot be mapped to top line or bottom line. So once you identify this, then it becomes very easy to drive the project and then assess whether the outcome of the project was as expected.
As I said, so we work with a lot of manufacturing clients. Right now, also I'm working with a manufacturing client. So the productivity or the production output is very important for them to make their business grow and sustainable. So we try to solve the problems related to the production line losses or the human errors, and we try to implement a lot of automation so that they can have a consistent behavior in their production lines. And also we want to make them to see their data in a most efficient way, in a most sensible way, so that they can predict their own growth and plan accordingly.
I was seeking for an activation partner, and that's where I met the first time Saviant and Anubhav and his team, so to say, to support me and on all the different innovation projects. Spectres back in 2017, 6 years ago, so to say, was a holding with 15 operational companies, with 15 businesses, with quite some complexity. With the first positive learning result, the trust in Saviant competences got established, and they became more and more a trusted partner. And that built the foundation for a journey of 6 years.
Effective leadership and an all-round positive and nurturing workplace culture are the tenets of a world-class organization. At the core of Saviant lies a culture that is respectful and inclusive, and in which employees have an equal opportunity to learn, contribute, and grow. Right people in the right role is the underlying driver at Saviant to innovate, foster creativity, and guide business strategies.
At Saviant, you don't have any managers or bosses. So if you worked at Saviant, you wouldn't report to anybody, which means you need to know your career roadmap. You need to know your customer. You just need a coach who will once in a while guide you on some of these questions. And therefore, there's no manager. So you don't get anybody to tell you that you're not doing well. You have your own dashboards to know whether you are in the red zone or green zone. And once in a while, the coach allows you to ask difficult questions, review something that is not working. So you are your own boss. It sounds very simple, but once you're your own boss, you also get a lot of responsibility. And that is why this culture becomes so people-focused, that if we don't have the right people, they can't perform their roles in the right way. And I think that's the crux of the culture that we're talking about.
So the culture overall here is friendly, it's very open, and there's good relation we all share as colleagues over here. The more focus over here is on the right person, so it's not that everyone has to know everything they learn over here, it's only that they should have the urge to learn.
The interview process that I went through really made me understand the focus of the environment was of the organization was on the problem solving and not on the policies, the punch in punch out time, or what rules we can impose on the employee. So I think that's the kind of agreeable environment that I believed I could thrive in.
Becoming future ready means scaling up capabilities designed to overcome the challenges of the future, where people long to belong and they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Saviant has curated effective ways to build a collective understanding as an organization of who we are, how we operate, and how we grow with the entire team members.
The last 3 or 4 years have given a different meaning to being future ready. It is not about just surviving, it's also about creating impact, standing out for what you are really doing, and keeping your people together while there are difficult times.
Most important things that I have noticed are the transparency and the freedom that we get.
A lot of the focus is through people, and consulting is a people-intensive business, right? So once you understand that any strategy that you make is as good as how you execute it, and if your people are going to execute your strategy in a consulting business, you have to make sure that everything revolves around how your people interpret the strategy.
At a point I was feeling that my contribution to the customer and what I want to do was a little disconnected. So I worked with my coach and he gave me a simple exercise. He said that let's really document 2 parts of your work, what you want to do and what you have to do. So once I did that, I realized that 60-70% work is what I want to do, but there is 30-40% work which I have to do. And then subsequently I worked with my coach to cut down that 40% to maybe 5 or 10%. And I'm very happy that in a span of a few months, I am really focusing on what I want to do instead of really working on some overheads which I was not too keen on.
Today, in 2023, Saviant members are able to confidently look back and reaffirm their pursuits of simplifying the industrial world with technology and human intelligence.